Under the sun, the fields are alive. Cheering crowds and the teams collide. In these moments, we stand tall and free. First pride runs deep in me. With every touchdown, we rise and we cheer. Unity and spirit, the heart of the year. Raising voices, let's make it loud. In Florida's high schools, we're so damn proud. From the bleachers to the end zone to go, football and cheers make our spirits grow. Girls in the game, they're fierce and bright. Flag in hand, they give it their might. From every town they bring their dreams. On this field of gold, nothing's as it seems. Together we shine, together we play. In Florida's heart, we own this day. Raise your voices, let's make it loud. In Florida's high schools, we're so damn proud. From the bleachers to the end zones go, football and cheers make our spirits grow. So here's to the game, we'll rise and stand. In Florida's field, real night band.
All right, welcome to another edition of the Northeast Florida Blitz. Josh Wilson along with Christopher Like here as we roll into our second of our four shows on this Wednesday night here, and boy, a lot to talk about in Northeast Florida, and boy, it's really interesting to talk about what has happened here. And with that said here, Chris, how about we get into some of our Blitz lines for looking back on week number 6, looking at Mandarin First Coast. That game, pretty much no contest. Mandarin rolls all over First Coast in that one by 20 points, and got the Mustangs are sitting there in the driver's seat, and for their district, and they're gonna be dealing with Oakleaf coming up in a couple of weeks. Oh, I don't hear you, Chris. Your mic.
Yeah, there you go. Mandarin don't roll there, so that's not really a surprise. It's about what we expected.
No, absolutely. That's about where we expected them to be at here, and where they're sitting at. And I got to say that it's for Mandarin, they're rolling along here, and with everything else, Christchurch at for Episcopal. I thought Christchurch. We all looked at Christchurch, but I got to say this: that was not the case. It was Episcopal's night on that one. Episcopal picks up their 5th win of the season, drops Christchurch to 4-2 on the season, and Christchurch does not have it easy this week, as we talked about on the other side in the Central Florida Blitz, and that was on our picks. And right now, Mount Dora Christian is going to pose a big threat to Christchurch being able to pick up win number 5 on the season.
Oh yeah, and that's going to be an interesting little contest there, to say the least.
No, absolutely. With that said, and to Quarry Creek Bartram Trail, this one, boy, he had Bartram taking the win on that one. 56 points. How about this? Arthur Lewis the 4th. How about he had a night, 158 on the ground, 4 touchdowns. Whoo, man.
The Bears know how to turn it on right at the right moment.
Yeah, they're going to make things interesting, to say the least. I mean, they're not in the playoff picture right this second, but I got to say that with Bartram Trail, they're right in the mix. Obviously, they're right in the contention there. Especially with Buchholz. I know Buchholz dropped Nice on Friday night. So Bartram Trail is going to make things interesting. Bartram still has to deal with Nice, so that'll be an interesting contest to see what happens. But to Corey Creek, I believe they got Buchholz coming up here in about not this week, but next week, and they can make things interesting if they figure out a way to strategize and catch the Bobcats napping.
Here's a little freebie. In that district, I actually flip-flopped to Corey Creek and Bartram Trail on the playoff.
To Corey Creek went into the parking lot. Oh boy. Yeah. Man. All right. As we look at Oakleaf and Fletcher, well, yeah, Oakleaf, we all took Oakleaf, and that was a blowout. I believe the final score on that one was like 38-9, I want to say, on that one. Just pull it up here real quick if I can. Okay, well, if
38-9.
38-9. I was good on that one. And, Oakleaf, just total domination there. The staff and the coach, I got it because they didn't put up their stats on time, but I did have it sitting here on my phone where, I had it sitting here. Here we go. But for Buck Coleman, how about this? 9 carries, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns to help guide the Knights to a district victory. And Oakleaf sitting in position to take on Mandarin for that district.
Yeah, Oakleaf's in the driver's seat there, so we'll see what they do over the next few weeks.
Fleming Island, how about this? Fleming Island, no match for Ponte Vedra this year. 35-9 the final. The Sharks get the win, get a little revenge here on the Golden Eagles from last year. Fleming Island, who won District 5A3 last year. Fleming Island may have found themselves going into the parking lot instead of in traffic.
Yeah, Ponte Vedra really stuck a nail there. So right in that tire for Fleming Island. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how Fleming Island reacts next week.
And we'll see what's going to happen here. Of course, Middleburg is in the throes of that district. Middleburg has not entered Middleburg has a 1-0 in the game in the district after beating Orange Park 28-0. But they still got Fleming Island, they still got Beachside, they still got Ponte Vedra in the mix here. So we'll see what's going to happen there. We all took Ponte Vedra, so a round of applause there for all of us on that one. The big game last week was Columbia 5-0, St. Augustine 5-0. Well, now Columbia's 5-1, St. Augustine is 6-0, and it was no contest, 41-21. The final score in that one. Columbia just could not get the car started.
No, and St. Augustine, they're always tough at home, and we all knew that, and that's just how things play out. St. Augustine, they're in the driver's seat there, so.
No,
it should be a front runner for that district there.
No, absolutely. And, here's the thing. Columbia can redeem themselves this week against Manatee, but we'll talk more about Columbia and North Central Florida Blitz coming up here at 9:00. But I got to really say, Columbia, they've got some things to fix here to figure out, like make sure they fix a couple things, make sure that they don't let the stinging from St. Augustine overhang them. But St. Augustine on a roll here. And I think that there's a good positive. I really think in the possibility I see St. Augustine maybe potentially going 10-0 on this schedule, what they've got left.
Yeah, just on what I've seen, yeah, there's no way that they're not going to go 10-0. The question remains whether they can make it all the way to the state final. No, man, that's the main question.
Oh, absolutely. And we'll see what's going to happen. I think that 4A Region 1 bracket is going to look really good along the way when we get towards the playoffs. There's some really good interesting things. Columbia's not out of the playoff picture by any means, so we'll just say that, but we'll hold on to that more for the North Central Florida edition of the Blitz here. And as we wrap up the Blitz lines here, we're going to have Xander Edwards on from Bolles here. Going to make sure that he's ready to go, because I want to make sure that we got him on time. But Apparently, they're talking about chicken wings. Great.
Again.
Anyways, we're going to take a break. We're going to take our 2-minute timeout here on the Northeast Florida edition of the Blitz. We'll be right back right after this.
Box Out gives you the ability to create graphics at the speed of sports to highlight your athletic department, teams, and student athletes in seconds. Used and trusted by Notre Dame, Ohio State, UConn, Marquette, Georgetown, and many more of the top college brands in the country. If you want your school's brand to stand out through all the clutter, start your free demo at boxoutsports.com.
Touchdown! Juggled and caught!
I've been thinking about this for a long time. I thought if that's out there, I want to make sure I see it and I get involved in it because to me, this was music to my ears. I was blown away. When you look at today's kid, the millennium kid, they learn by being able to see it. If I can see it, there's a great chance that I can do it. The First Down Playbook is a tool that can essentially change the way we teach the game.
All right, welcome back here to the Northeast Florida edition of the Blitz here on this Wednesday night, the first day of October here as we roll into our interview segment with a running back, Xander Edwards of Bolles. How about this? If you were sleeping under a rock, you got to the stat line is just unbelievable from Friday night against Baldwin. 39 carries, 522 yards rushing, and a state record-breaking 8 touchdowns. Xander, first, welcome to the show. Just kind of give us, your just the feeling when you found out that you had eclipsed this. I mean, but first, I guess more so, what was it like? Just playing in that game alone, because I know that was just a total dominant effort there that you put out there Friday night.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's a surreal feeling. I mean, there's no words I can describe it. I'm just so thrilled, and I give all the credit to the O-line. Without the O-line, I'm not able to do what I've done. So all credit goes to them, and I'm blessed. I want to thank everybody that got me here, and I'm blessed to be in this opportunity, to be in this position right now.
As we're going to point out here, we're going to be dropping up nuggets of stats here, but as we roll along here, but I mean, when you look back on this, 73 points for your team Friday night, did y'all ever think you could score 73 points in a game? I mean, because it's just it's one of those things where I don't think we've seen a score this high in Northeast Florida going back. I mean, we had to go back probably a decade, I think, when Bishop Kenny and Clay played in a playoff game that was like 73, 74 years ago.
No, I was astonished when I saw 73 points up on the scoreboard. I mean, Bolles hasn't had 73 points scored in like years and years. So it was, impressive. It was a very impressive offensive performance.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, so you're ranked 9th in the country in rushing, according to MacPrep, with 1,300 yards, and you're still like 3 or 4 games away from finishing off the regular season. What's your thoughts on being in that inside that the talk of being in the nation.
I mean, it's a great feeling, but again, I couldn't have done this without my O-line and my coaches. They all got me there, and I'm blessed to have them by my side. They all trust me, and I trust them, and we have built such good chemistry throughout the season, and it's really showed during these games.
No, absolutely. And Xander, just when we were talking with not just the stats, I mean, you're averaging over 230 yards a game here, but this afternoon, you picked up a big offer from Miami. Just talk about that, the attention now all of a sudden that's starting to come because of what happened Friday night. Obviously, Miami put an offer on the table, and then you're the class of 2028. You still got another couple of years before you have to ultimately decide where you're gonna go.
No, it's funny because when Miami gave me the offer, I was in class and my phone started blowing up and I was like, who's texting me? So I took my phone out and I just see Miami wants to offer you, or Miami offered you, and I was just like, I was so thrilled. It was a great feeling. I mean, words cannot describe. Because Miami is a great program. It's one of the top programs in the country. So I'm really grateful that they offered me.
No, I mean, absolutely. I mean, just kind of give us an idea as you start to, with Miami offering. Obviously, you've got some game visits coming up, obviously, for like Florida State, Notre Dame, Vanderbilt, just to name a few here. I mean, as you look at this early process in recruiting, I mean, how do you handle how are you going to handle all this? Because I know there's, again, a lot of limelight, and at the end of the day, we also have to remember every football player is a human too. So there's a lot there.
No, I mean, this is all cool and all, but again, I'm just focusing on winning a state championship for my school. So it's cool to get all this notice and everybody noticing me, but I'm just focused on winning a state championship for the team.
No, absolutely. And you mentioned the O-line. What has been the big thing about this offensive line for y'all this year compared to maybe what last year, given the fact that y'all were close, in terms of getting, going deep in the playoffs, but I know this year it's not just to get deep into the playoffs, it's to get to that state title game and in the 2A game down in Miami. I mean, what is the difference about the O-line?
I mean, it's just different. I mean, they play as one. They play with relentless effort. Their chemistry is on point. And I'm just so happy that I run behind them. They play with relentless effort, and me personally, I think they're the best O-line in the state by far. So I'm really happy that I get to run behind them.
No, absolutely, and I gotta say, you got head coach Matt Toblin. Obviously, he's been a heck of a ball coach in Northeast Florida for a long time. But you got Deshaun Brown, who's the college recruiting coordinator for y'all. I mean, talk about what Coach Toblin and Coach Brown do for y'all. Because I mean, if you didn't have them two, who knows where things could be going right now.
Yeah. No, they're great people. Coach Toblin's a great coach. He wants you to do well football wise, but he also wants to make you a better man. And I think that's the big picture as a head coach, not only to be good to help you get to the next level, but also to help you build that character. And Deshaun Brown, he's done so much, and I really appreciate him for all his hard work and helping my teammates and I trying to get to that next level of college football.
No, absolutely. And if you got any questions for Xander, just go ahead and pop them in the chat. We'll throw them out as we roll along here. But obviously, bye week, I know you're probably like, hey, we need a rest this week. You take a rest. But with the 4 remaining games here, I'm obviously Andrew Jackson district game, Riverside, Wolfson. Those are district games. Probably gonna be you would think easy games, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, obviously, I got to think the process is one game at a time for y'all. How do you handle that when you're an opponent that may necessarily not be at the same level as what y'all are at right now?
I mean, we can't overlook them. We kind of overlooked Baldwin, and it was close. It was back and forth the whole game. So we just can't overlook our opponent, and we gotta take them serious.
Absolutely. And of course, Columbia at the end of the year. And I know one of our Columbia guys is sitting in here in the chat here, but when you see Columbia, I mean, for y'all, that's no better. That's a good way to close out the regular season, a good test before entering postseason.
Yeah. So no, they're a great team. They're a great team. They're big, they're physical, they're fast. We're gonna have to really lock in for that game because it's a great football team, great program, and it's gonna be a fun game.
No, absolutely here. And with looking at everything, but let's talk about the rest of your teammates because it's not just you. It's obviously you've got guys on both sides of the ball. Just talk about some of these guys. Asher Jahito, if I'm saying his last name correct, I mean he's having a heck of a season as well. I mean when y'all, it's not, again, when we say team, it's not just an I effort. It's there's no I in team. It's a team effort when it comes to winning football games.
No, Asher, he's insane to me. Like I don't know how, but like he's that guy. He's definitely I think he's the best defensive player in the country right now. And all of my other teammates like Naeem Burrows, JJ Sparks, Simeon Caldwell, all those people have such good work ethics, and it really shows on the field.
No, absolutely. And let's go back to this real quick because I didn't mention this and I should mention it. But, you eclipsed the Northeast Florida record for rushing yards in a game, which had been set by the legendary Derrick Henry of Yulee. I mean, just the fact you were able to eclipse something like that. I mean, what's the feeling on that for someone that, a player that also set the national rushing record at the high school level?
I mean, it feels great. Like I said, I want to thank everybody that got me here. I couldn't do it without them. I want to thank the coaches, the O-line. It's a blessing, man. I'm still trying to process all of that right now, and it's a blessing, but it's a great feeling.
And now let me go into this one. What is a typical game day like for Xander getting ready for a game? What is it like for you? Just kind of give us an insight of what it takes for you to be ready, to be locked in, because I know every player's got a different process to how they prepare for a game.
Well, school day, it's a normal school day, but then right when that bell rings at 3:15, I'm locked in, I'm ready. I got my headphones on, listening to music. I'm locked in, watching film on the other team just to refresh my brain to what defense they're in, what their tendencies are and stuff like that. And then play the game and win.
Yeah, good win indeed. Of course, right this second, as we talk about it here, Bolles 5-1 on the season so far. They only lost that 40-35 game against that St. Augustine, and that's the only blemish. And I wouldn't even call that a blemish. That is that we could call a barn burner of two top teams in Northeast Florida and in the state just going at it with each other. You agree with me, Chris, on that one? That does not even. I wouldn't call that a blemish.
Yeah, no, that game was fun. I mean, it hurts a little bit, but I think our team needed that for motivation into the next few weeks because, we were the number one team in the city, and we were really like taking in all that hype, thinking we're the best, and then lost to St. Augustine. So I think it was good for us to lose to them and then realize that, we got stuff to work on. So.
Do you think it may have been more important to take that if you were going to take a loss to take it at home versus being on the road, just because of home is like that's what you got to defend?
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. Yeah.
Absolutely. Looking at that, of course, again, as we said here, Bolles' remaining schedule, Andrew Jackson, obviously next week. The bye week is this week, Riverside, Wilson, and then Columbia. 3 more home games and a road game left on the stretch here, and definitely going to be exciting to see what's going to happen there for y'all. But, Xander, anything else you would like to share to everybody that's watching you tonight?
Like I said, I want to thank everybody that got me here, especially my mom, all my 3 sisters, my dad, and all the coaches that from little league to middle school that helped me get here. And I want to thank everybody I want to thank everyone believing in me.
No, absolutely, and of course, as we talk about it here with Xander, so we got make sure that making sure that we don't have any questions sitting there popping into the chat here. But okay, never mind. I just want to make sure because our chat fires off with a lot of things here. But Xander, we definitely thank you coming on, and again, and congratulations. That deserves a round of applause there. Congratulations again on the record-breaking performance, and definitely exciting. And by the way, everybody, yes, an all-state candidate as well at running back. I don't think there's any questions really being first-team all-state. I think that's going to be a huge honor right there when it comes to the end of the season award. But yeah, but Xander, again, congratulations, and best of the luck the rest of the season with the 4 games left on the regular season schedule, and then of course postseason. And thank you for coming on our Northeast Florida edition of the Blitz here on FloridaHSFootball.com.
So thank you for having me.
No, you're welcome. Take care, Eric.
So you too.
All right, man. That's just that's really fun to be able to talk to him. I mean, he just really, I think what's mind blowing is that he broke Derrick Henry's record in the area. He came up 13 yards just short of collapsing the state record, which Derrick Henry did own at one point, but the state record now 535 in a single game and 522 in this one. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, we still got 2.5 more years of him in Florida too. So,
and yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing. And I'm really serious. I think he's already locked in a spot for first team All State in Class 2A for running back. I don't think there's any question about this. There's after what he did in that game. I mean, like you said, with Baldwin, it's really it. Man, Josh, it seems fans want you at Columbia versus Bolles week 11. That might just be. I gotta say, Xander is gonna definitely. He's gonna be. You think he's breaking records now? I think he's gonna set some. He's gonna set some high marks for high school football in the state over the next 2.5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you think that his offer to the Miami was big, he got a lot more coming over the next 2 years.
No, absolutely, and it's still a long ways from that decision making. But Xander not committed yet, but definitely going to be interesting to see where he commits to. As we wrap up the interview portion of the Northeast Florida edition of the Blitz, coming up, we have the Pick 6 for week number 7 coming up here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this here on the Northeast Florida edition of the Blitz.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with a free ScoreStream mobile app. Download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
Box Out gives you the ability to create graphics at the speed of sports to highlight your athletic department, teams, and student athletes in seconds. Used and trusted by Notre Dame, Ohio State, UConn, Marquette, Georgetown, and many more of the top college brands in the country. If you want your school's brand to stand out through all the clutter, start your free demo at boxoutsports.com.
Juggled and caught!
Welcome back here to the Northeast Florida edition of the Blitz here on FloridaHSFootball.com. It is time that we roll into our pick six. And yes, indeed, Chris, it is time for that pick six as we roll into it. And here we go as we roll into it. Hilliard 2-4 at Old Plank Christian 4-2. Old Plank a 23-point favorite over Hilliard.
Yeah, I just wonder how old that plank is. Give me Old Plank.
Oh, that is a good Old Plank. All right. Chris is rolling with Old Plank here. I'm going to roll with Old Plank, but don't count out DJ Alderman and the Hilliard Red Flashes in this one. I think it's going to be closer than what the forecast calls for, and I think Reno would go with Old Plank as well. All right, I put this one on the forecast because, somebody's got to win a game here. Riverside 1-5, Trinity Christian 1-4. Neither team has had much going for them this year, but Trinity Christian a 21-point favorite over their 4A counterparts at Riverside. Where we go here, Chris?
I think that game can be a lot closer than I think, but than the computer thinks it's going to be. But give me Trinity Christian at home.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Trinity Christian as well, just because I feel like at home, this one's going to be it's a game they need. It's a game that they need to pick up here to help with playoff positioning. And but Trinity Christian, if they drop a fifth game here, I think it's going to be a problem for them. All right, Ed White 4-1, Atlantic Coast 3-2. I don't know if this is going to be much of a game, but with the amount of games that we had to deal with there for this week, there's not a lot to put on in terms of quality games. But here we are throwing this one on here. Ed White 35-point favorite over Atlantic Coast.
Yeah, give me Ed White. It can be a blowout. Not even be close.
Yeah, give me Ed White as well here on the road over the St. Johns River. I think the Commanders just will totally dominate the Stingrays and put the Stingrays at an even 500. While Ed White moves to 5-1. By the way, they lost by a field goal there against Merritt Island this past week. Whew, man, that's a close one. But all right, up next on our picks is Fleming Island 3-2 at Creekside 2-4, and the forecast is calling for Fleming Island to win by 16 over Creekside, but part of me feels like this game could go anywhere. It could be going for the Golden Eagles and could go for the Knights, and I don't know. I don't know if I agree with the on this one.
Yeah, I don't agree with it either. I think it can be a lot closer than computer thinks it's going to be. But give me Fleming Island to win on the road, but not by much.
You're going to take Fleming Island. I know Reno will take Fleming Island based upon how he goes, but I'm taking Creekside. I feel like Creekside is going to pull off an upset and get a big win here. I feel like Fleming Island has regressed a little bit since last year. I feel like there's a few issues that the Golden Eagles need to fix, but I feel like Creekside has played a better schedule. But again, Creekside, the problem with Creekside is they just haven't really won games. They've been close in games, just haven't won. So again, Creekside 2-4. I feel like they'll get to 3-4 on the season with an upset win. But all right, Coy Creek 3-2 at Beachside 4-1. Let's see if this game is a little bit closer for Coy Creek this week. But Beachside, Eddie Jordan has been putting up some numbers this year for Beachside, and Beachside off last week, and the Barracudas looking to go to 5-1 on the season, while Coy Creek looks to but not put themselves on the even 500, but increase that win percentage a little bit.
Yeah, I like Coy Creek, but give me Beachside at home because it's at Beachside. So, but Coy Creek had a little bit of problems, and I think they're still trying to figure out those problems and trying to solve them really quickly.
Yeah, we're gonna roll with Beachside. I think Reno will roll with Beachside. Beachside is a 10-point favorite, by the way, according to the Florida Power Rankings Index in this one. So, and as everybody says, it looks like a lot of people are going Beachside, but Mark Cannon thinks to Coy Creek, those Toros can win here. And Bishop Kenny, they will get on the bus Friday and head to Tallahassee to take on Rickards. Rickards 2-4, but that 2-4 can be a little misleading on Rickards. They have been close in some games. They have played tough in some games. They also play Colquitt County as part of their 4 losses. And Bishop Kenny, there's been a couple down, a couple games that have cost them here. But Bishop Kenny, a 19-point favorite over Rickards in this one.
I kind of agree with the computer, but it can be closer than I think it's going to be. But give me Bishop Kenny at home.
Actually, it's Bishop Kenny on the road here. Bishop Kenny at Rickards,
Yeah.
and I'm going to Bishop Kenny. I think they'll pick up a road win here, and I know Reno will take Bishop Kenny as well. And I feel like this is one of those weeks where it's just one of those where it's kind of easy pickings in the games here. But it's the week with the least amount of games of any of the weeks here this season.
Yeah, a lot of these teams are preparing for the grind of the district schedule coming up in the next couple of weeks. So that's what's going on here.
Yeah, it's a bye week for a lot of teams here, and or yeah, like you said, we're kind of it's a lull right between the meat of the district schedule here, and Mark Cannon thinks that Rickards band wins tonight. Well, Rickards, I mean, yeah, sometimes the school bands can win, but Hunter thinks Rickards could catch Bishop Kenny napping here. Is that a possibility? You think that? Is that what you're saying? Why it could be closer in your mind?
Yeah, I that could be a possibility, but we'll see. Bishop Kenny, they could be after that long road trip. Yeah, they could probably be sleeping later.
Yeah. Well, as we wrap that up, that is our pick 6 for week number 7. Eventually, I'll get everything added up, and we'll update the records here as to who's what and where in our records. At least if I got all the sheets from the previous few weeks, I just got to get it entered. Just got to have some time to get it all entered into the sheets, and we'll get that situated here. But boy, Chris, it's been an interesting in terms of show. Good to have Xander Edwards on. Again, like you said, he's going to be something to he's going to be a player to watch over these next 2.5 years. He's definitely already starting to show a lot of fire.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing what he's going to do in a couple of years and seeing how he progresses after this year.
No, absolutely.
Only a sophomore, so.
No, you're right. You're right about that. And with that said, as we roll along here, and we're going to wrap this thing up here as we roll along. Any final thoughts here, Chris?
Nope, just get ready for district play next week, Nick. And then a lot of these games would be next week for district play. So.
No, absolutely here. And as we wrap it up, coming up next on the North Central Florida edition of the Blitz, we're going to have the first coach in the nation ever to do this, 200 wins in 2 different states. Head coach Robbie Pruitt of the Williston Red Devils will be joining us for the North Central Florida edition of the Blitz. We'll see y'all back here in just a few minutes here on FortHSFootball.com, the FortHSFootball.com social media networks.
Thank you.